If you're working in 3D animation or VFX, what really makes the difference in your pipeline is actually the control, the speed, and a workflow that makes sense for your use cases. In this tutorial, I show you a complete overview of Mago and how to go from a raw footage, like 3D playblast or live action footage, to production-ready renders, and all inside one streamlined video-to-video workflow. So start by creating your project and uploading your footage. You can trim your clip without even opening Premiere, and here is our project. On the right, there is the vertical timeline. It's not a cutting editor, and it's designed for 3 specific goals. I will switch to a more advanced version of this project to showcase them. So those 3 benefits are that it lets you work precisely, frame by frame. For example, if you have multiple shots in your video, it lets you iterate quickly and test other settings because, for example, you can load the settings of this track and you are directly ready to make changes to these settings to improve your render. And finally, it lets you compare your shots. To compare your shots, you just have to hold Control and click on the tracks that you want to compare, and you will be able to compare them side by side. You can go up to 4 tracks. Now, let's see the workflow. Our end-to-end workflow is built around 3 core steps: modify frame, render video, and upscale. This is the most efficient flow for iteration and keeping control at each step. First, create your reference frame. In a video-to-video workflow, reference frames are crucial to give an efficient direction before scaling it to motion. So we have integrated the best image-to-image models like Nano Banana Pro to give you speed and control. You can easily select the most relevant frame to modify, give your instruction, and as well as any references. And if you want to know everything about our image-to-image workflow, like how to iterate on your images or compare them, we have a dedicated video on the channel. Once your reference is ready, you move to video rendering. So this is the second step of your workflow. Mago is designed to streamline this video-to-video process, for example, with presets, auto prompt, and also the ability to reuse and iterate quickly on your settings. But we also want to give you control and customization power, and this comes with advanced settings as well as control nets. We also implemented many video models that you can select based on your use case. So for example, the Mago character model is really focused on character replacement. Then you have the Mago V3 models that are flexible and strong for stylization or relighting. And finally, the Kling models, which are really efficient for VFX use cases like creating clean plates or replacing objects. To deep dive in the advanced settings, you can watch the dedicated video directly in the description. But note that these settings are your key for creative control because you actually choose how AI should interpret motion, the structure of your video, and depth, for example. And this is really important to finally transform your video. We are not hiding settings behind a black box to give you more control over your output. And so you can preview your control maps to know exactly what the AI is using as guidance. You can even upload your own control maps if needed, if you are creating depth map, for example, on Unreal or whatever software. Now it's time to generate your render. This is where the timelines becomes exciting because this lets you choose precisely the frame range that you want to render. It's very useful if you want to generate just a certain part of your video or if your video has multiple shots like this project. Once you've hit render, the renders appear in your vertical timeline. Every render lives in your timeline. This makes it easy to find back your render with the track management and also rating your renders. But most importantly, this is where iteration becomes powerful. In your current pipeline, you probably never make all the changes in one shot because the more you break down your VFX or compositing workflow, the more control you have at each step. Mago keeps this approach and lets you iterate step by step. So if you want to modify the shot that you just render, you just have to click on iterate by clicking here. And as you can see, we will now work on this specific video and not the original input. The direct value of this is that you can use different models with their different strengths for each step of your workflow. For example, here I will change my character using Mago character model, and here is the final result. Finally, you can compare your shots side by side to double check the transformation and if all the details, camera movement, motion of the character, for example, are really sticking to your new output. You just have to hold Control and click on the tracks that you want to compare. It's time to upscale your render to get it production ready. You just have to take your final render, iterate again, hit the upscale option at the top left, and you are good to go. Finally, you can download your final video. So you can either download it as a video file or also as an image sequence. I hope that this overview was useful and that you understood that Mago is not building flashy features or a catalog of one-click tools, but we are really aiming to build a production-ready workflow for AI rendering, for VFX, and to give professionals the control and the efficiency that they need.